I hit a few balls here. I just bought one little small bucket today though, because last time I bought a big bucket and I ended up leaving like over half of them there because I think there was like a ton of balls. So
Oh
anyway, so I
no.
didn't hit as many this morning. Just kind of warmed up a little bit. Yeah. So we'll see what I got.
Okay. All right. Well, so you had the new setup and you were still leaving them
Yep.
out to the right. So
Yep.
I just want to reiterate that working with me is more like working with a swing consultant
Yep.
and not so much like a swing teacher. So at any
Yep.
given time, if you become frustrated in the midst of testing something and you want to default to fixing ball flight, because that's not what
Yeah.
I do. I'm
Yeah.
hitting it right. I'm hitting it right. I'm going to pay you to fix it. So that's not what I do. So it's incremental. So let's
Yeah.
say you are still consistently hitting it to the right and we still have some other fundamentals that we're going to add to it. I would say just play and hit to the right.
Yeah.
When you go and play, and if you have to slightly shut your club face, if it's a round of golf that actually means something, if it's not
Yeah.
and it doesn't mean anything, just let it go. Just keep
Okay.
working on what you're working on. All
Okay.
right. Okay, so let's just kind of pick up where we left off and see where you're at with your setup, because one of the number one things that golfers, self included, and I don't play that much anymore, but it's always happened to me. I can see it when I watch a video from a lesson, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you did it again. You're too upright. In those mind to motion videos, I have one video where my spine angle is too upright. So it's always something we have to work on and check, because it's not natural, unless you're a hockey
Yeah.
player, to be hip hinged. I mean, that's it. You got hockey and you got golf, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So let's start with just kind of warming up. Have you hit balls already?
I hit a couple.
Okay. So I may have to have you. Do you have your camera on a tripod that you can easily move around?
Yep.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna just start with the down the line, because that's the only place I can really see your setup. So let's start
Okay.
with that.
Now let me turn it around here really quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Maybe if I can remember how to do it.
And by the way, how's your back?
Fine.
Okay.
Can you see there? You can see that, right?
I can see it. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, my back has been good.
Good.
So like this swing is not hurting it at all.
Good. That's number one, is to get you out of that. So
Hold on a second. Since I left my headphones, I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Is that good?
yep, yep. So just go ahead and set up, and let's just hit 3 balls. Hey, nice self-correction. Way less on the ball of the left foot, and I could see you really move into that heel at finish. Has that become something that's you have to still think about, or is it becoming a little more natural?
I have to think about it a little bit, but a little more
That's
naturally. Yeah, I
okay.
have to think about it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's something you may always think about, because it's a test. It's giving you
Yeah.
feedback, right? So it just takes less neural connections to test it and to remember it. So it's not that
Okay.
you can ever just all of a sudden go into, I'm kind of an anti-flow state person. I got lots of good science to back that.
Yeah.
The myth of flow. You can just flow and let your mind go. Yeah, okay, good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
How's that working for you?
Doesn't.
Good. Now stay right there. I just want you to sense something. Hold. Excellent. Now, can you sense that your rib cage is slightly out in front of your hips?
Yeah.
Or okay. Yep. So over accentuate it. Now there you go, self-correct. Now there's 2 ways to self-correct. Remember, we did this. You could just take your shoulders and lean back. But when we do that, we have a tendency to use the spine, and you being a chiropractor, you tell me which is a better way to do it, is to just lean back with the upper body, or take your glutes and squeeze it and move the pelvis forward. So you can move pelvis forward or move shoulders back.
Yeah, pelvis.
Right? Yeah, definitely with the pelvis. If you can do it. And by consciously and routinely contracting your glutes to move that pelvis forward, you're actually moving it towards the target line. You're developing a routine, a muscle memory routine. And that's why the more you do it, when we get to your downswing move, which we're kind of going to address today, that, you know, the hope would be that the nervous system just naturally kind of starts doing it because it anticipates being there, being in that position and using the glutes to get into that position.
Okay. So when, yeah, okay. All right.
Okay, so I think your setup looks really good. The only thing I would change, and I can't tell because you're a CrossFit guy, right? So sometimes when somebody that builds up those glute muscles, they have those nice, which you do, the big glute muscles, and I'm a trainer, so I can talk to you this way.
Yeah.
It makes it appear as you have more lower lumbar curve than you do. But I'm trusting as a chiropractor that you can test that. The other thing is that comes along with building up our glutes is a little excessive lower lumbar curve that we would maybe not have there otherwise. So just make sure at address, I can see that, and you can do a slight pelvic tilt, a posterior tilt. Yes, to kind of just take, if you can visually imagine the very end of your tailbone and you're tucking it down. Not quite that much. I mean, it's a micro move at best. So do that last. That's the last thing that you're going to do. You get all set up. Everything else looks really good.
Okay. So let me try that.
Yep. Just one more with your adding that to your routine, or your setup routine. And you know what? That camera moved somehow, so I cannot see your backside. So just move it a little to the left. So good, perfect, thanks. Good. Can you tuck it down for me? There we go. Good. Yep. And all that did, and you may not even have to be that much. I don't know the natural curve in your spine. I mean, if we had met face to face, I would know it a little bit better. And that's something we can find on the golf specific fitness or I use it for everything, not just golf. But we can find where that perfect sweet spot is for the pelvic position, which is pretty important. All right, so now you're going to add that. And notice when you do that, does it cause you to settle even heavier into the heels?
Yeah.
It does. Okay, so that's your test, right? So the last move you're going to make is we're going to just slightly remove that little excess arch, and you're going to feel your heels as if you're on a force plate. That's going to drive the heels into the ground. One more question, because I cannot see from this view. Are you leaning slightly inside both ankles still? Yeah. Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, it feels like I'm in quicksand.
Perfect. That's a great analogy. I like that, Nathan. Starts making you feel like you're sinking. Your heels are sinking into the ground. That's a good analogy.
Came out of it.
That's all right. Now go ahead and self-correct again. Oop. Always self-correct at that finish. Use your glutes. Glutes, squeeze them. Pull there, right there. Okay, good. All right, so stay right there. We're going to do some R&W training really quick. Just go ahead and take a practice swing in your finish. Hold it. There you go, right there. Okay, so what I want you to do is move your shoulders out in front, or just push your butt back towards the camera, squeeze your glutes, and pull your butt forward. And then line up. There you go. Now move the butt back. It's like a hip hinge, and move the butt forward. Good. I was going to add that in a minute. Good. Go ahead and add your side bend. And that's what you're going to do. Hold the side bend. Good. Using your glutes. That's butt forward, butt back while you hold side bend. So hold that side bend and just move your butt, micro move. Let's just go 2 inches. It doesn't even have to be that much.
Tiring.
It is, because you're using your large muscle group. So, hey, you're doing a little workout here. There you go. Excellent. And alternate and just do that 7 times. So that's going to be part of your warm-up routine. And then maybe do one more thing. That right heel needs to be pulled all the way up to the sky. And go ahead and take your right knee and touch the left, if you can. There you go. Hold your side bend. There you go. And then move butt forward, butt back. So what you're doing is you're just alternating. You're creating contrast. So the nervous system understands shoulder and hip stacked versus not being stacked. So you can look at the camera. I'm going to mimic that for you. I'm going to go right here, from here. Can you see the camera?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good, because I can't see you when you look at it. Okay, so let's say this is my finish. Let's go from here. Good. And then I'm going to squeeze and move my butt forward and back and forward and back. So let me give you this view. Swing, boop, boop. Finish. I'm not up here. I'm here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm moving. I want you to move from your hips. And it's a micro move. And that's it. Back and forward while you hold spine angle. Just as part of your warm-up. Now, after doing that, here's the question. Could you feel that in your lower back or any back pain while you did that?
Mm-mm. No.
None? Okay, good. All right, so now I'm going to ask you to move the camera for a front view.
Good.
Uh-huh. Good finish there. Self-correct. Very good. Excellent. I don't know how the ball flight was. Not worried about that, but that actually, it was good. Your movement looked great.
Yep.
Nice. Didn't tail off to the right?
No, it went left a little bit actually.
Okay. And we're just going to look at one more from a front view, and then I'm going to give you your new homework. I think your setup looks great. Hopefully it's feeling a little more comfortable. And are you pushing on the handle with the left hand? Did we go into that last session? I apologize. We didn't? Okay, so. All right. Don't worry about it. You're good. Self-correct? Nice. Oh, butt's way back. There we go. Good, good, good. All right. Awesome. Now I'm going to have you set up with the ball. And you're just going to be moving your rib cage into different positions while you remain in your setup.
Okay.
And what we're doing is I'm not asking you to think about the golf swing. Your whole focus is on what the eye sees. We're just training your eye. Do you remember how we talked about looking at the ball, hyper-focusing on it? Okay. So this is an eye thing. So you're going to set up, which means your eye line is going to be what? Directly over the ball. Everything is about the ball and what you're looking at with your eye. Got that? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Now I want you to take your head, which is your rib cage. It's attached dead center to the middle. And I want you to move it out in front of the ball. And then move it back over the ball. We're contrasting again. That's all we're doing. Now move it behind the ball. Now over the ball, and just do that again. And just note what you see. That's it. Head out front, head on top, head behind. And that is your rib cage doing all of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just want to be aware that you are moving your upper body. We only have upper and lower. That's the beauty of it. We're not even, a lower body is still, it's not doing a thing. That is all upper body movement.
Do it again.
Uh-huh. And then we're going to hit 3 balls, and you're going to try to tell me where your head was through impact, on top, behind, or forward. And from that view, just to let you know, from that view, if you tilt even ever so slightly to the right,
Yeah.
it's going to look, your eye line is going to look as if your head is 4 to 6 inches behind the ball.
Okay.
It's not, but that's exactly what it looks like from that view.
Okay.
All right. Nice self-correct. That was fast at the end. And did you see where the club came down? Did you know where your head was in relation to impact?
In front of.
It was where?
In front of the ball.
Okay. I'm going to videotape the screen just to double check and look at it slow motion. And while you're doing right now, you're not trying to do anything besides seeing what's happening with your current swing.
Okay. Do another one.
Oh yeah, 3. Self-correct your finish. That is so much better than last week already. And you haven't even really practiced, right? Where was it that time?
Hit a few times. What, say what now? I was in front of it again.
Out in front?
My head going out in front of it.
I have it in slow motion, just kind of right on top of it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
so real quick, add a dress, move your head out front again and move it center.
Okay.
And then move it back. Just do it one more time just for training your eye. Add a dress, go front, center, back, center. Perfect. And where was it that time? It was behind it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's what I have too. Excellent. Okay, so you know, as a chiropractor, the nervous system has an innate intelligence, and depending on what degree of brain body intelligence somebody has, brain connecting to the body, that connection, how intelligent, the reason I use the word intelligent is intelligence is based on fact, whereas awareness is subjective. You can have an awareness or feel like you're doing something and that's not what you're doing at all, right?
Okay.
In golf, they say feel isn't real. So intelligence is whatever it is you feel, it is exactly what is happening. So the nervous system has an innate intelligence. So whenever I work with people, I'm trying to first find out, can we get the nervous system to work that problem and produce the correct body movement?
Okay.
And a lot, I'm going to say with golfers, I'm going to say, you know, maybe 60-40 on this particular thing. So the head is supposed to be behind the ball through impact. So that's going to be your only goal. So you don't have a swing thought. We're not thinking backswing, hand, none of that junk. You're just going to try to make sure that through impact, your head is behind the ball. So let's see if your nervous system can produce that movement and that goal. And you don't even know how it's doing it. It really only has one way to do it. but if we don't have to go there, if I don't have to teach you and add more to BeeHive brain, if the nervous system will pick that up by itself, then I get to go on to the next component of the swing. So we need to test that 7 balls, and you do need to give me some ball flight feedback on that. You're still going through your setup routine very consciously and with thought. So you only got one swing thought.
Okay.
My head's got to be behind the ball through impact. All right.
Okay.
7 balls it is. Huh?
Oh, nothing. I just count. I was gonna see how many balls I have. Okay, I got something.
Okay.
Well,
and you're going to give me feedback on ball flight, feedback on, oh, my head was out front, yada, yada, yada. And on my end, I'm actually videotaping so I can run it back in slow motion to see if your eye is picking it up correctly. But that's your only swing thought.
Behind the ball, but the ball went right.
Okay. Yes, it was.
Dumped it down to the left. I think it was center to the ball.
Okay. And that one went a little left?
Yeah, it kind of went down left.
Okay.
About 30 yards in front.
All right.
I just dumped it in the front again. My head was behind the ball, though.
Okay.
See if it was it.
What do you mean by in the front?
I mean, like the ball went straight in front of me, but I didn't get it in the air.
Oh,
okay.
Worm
burner.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Your finish is getting better.
Ball went to the right, head behind.
Okay. All right. Can you see how your finish is, you're not on the ball of your foot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back there.
So, yep. So we want to see when the ones where your head's clearly behind the ball, is the finish automatically better? Not necessarily
when my head's
ball
behind
flight
the ball?
yet, but yeah. Okay. That you're in much better balance.
Yeah. Head was behind again.
Good. And how was your finish?
On the heel more.
Yeah. And was your caboose way behind you, or were you pretty much stacked
way
in
behind
neutral?
Yeah. No. My butt was behind me.
Oh,
I feel like. Look at it and see, but I feel like my butt was behind my shoulders.
Yeah, it actually, not much though, not compared to what it usually is. Usually your upper body is the primary mover.
Yeah.
Usually your entire upper body is the primary mover, and it literally moves towards the target. Meaning horizontally. Forget rotation. Yeah. We're talking about right versus left from like my view. Your
Yeah.
move, you would normally move way out front and your butt was way behind you. On that one, maybe by an inch or 2 inches.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. All right, now there you were more on the balls of your feet.
Yeah.
You could feel that you were, yeah, you were pivoting on the ball of your foot. And was your head behind the ball still?
Felt like it was, yes.
It was. Yes, it was. Did that one go right?
Yeah.
When you were on the ball of your foot? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, is this the last one?
Yep.
Way better. Huh? Went to the right again?
Yeah, I took a good divot though.
Yeah. Well, and remember, I don't know if we're going to even try to straighten that ball flight out today, but your default is to the right now. And but would you say most of them were well struck into the right, or was it a sharp curve to the right?
Sharp curve.
Okay.
Some of them weren't. Some of them were just kind of straight to the right, but some of them were more of that,
That curve where
Yeah.
the ball, you get a lot of curve in the air. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next thing. So that is it's as foundational as the setup.
Okay.
That regardless of which swing model you choose, it doesn't matter if you're a Mo Norman fan or a Danny Maud fan, that doesn't matter. The head has got to be behind the ball to impact. Well, how do you know that? You've got to train your eye to see it, and there is no way around that.
Yeah.
So as we get into manipulating your movements, the very fact that you're able to do it, and I could see the head now move behind the ball, it reflected itself, number one, in better balance on that finish. But the nervous system already took some of that work out. So there's only one way for a golfer to shift the weight to the lead leg while the hips rotate and rib cage and keep the head behind the ball. And that's with lateral spinal flexion. I mean, that's it. There's no other way the human body can make that happen. So I'm going to show you, and we're going to do a setup drill for this. I don't know if you can see the ball. I'm putting it on the ground. Can you see that? Okay. Mm-hmm. So have you ever been in the gym where you do the little dumbbell side bend? Okay. All right. So in that side bend, you can clearly see that I'm side bending. Yeah. Right? Okay. So my rib cage is moving there to there. However, I can do that from the rib cage as the action, and that's all spine. And notice how my lower body is not moving. Or I can take my lower body. So imagine if there's a string here and I'm going this way. I'm going to take this hip and I'm going to move it out. And if I keep moving this hip socket this way, it causes me to side bend. Can you see that?
Yep.
Hip's going to move. And if I just keep moving the hip and leaning, there's my side bend. Move the hip and there's my side bend. This way and this way versus just doing this. All right. So now to the ball, I'm going to have you just do little side bends and then start moving your hip. So the hip kind of will initiate it. All right. So now can you see where the ball is?
Yep.
In order to get my head behind the ball, I'm going to create the side bend and shift to the left. Can you see me do that?
Yep.
Here. Now I don't have if I get my arms in there, can you see how this arm blocks the side bend? I can't really see it, right? Mm-hmm. So you can see if you drop 2 lines here from both of my shoulders, 2 plumb lines, this hip line is out in front of my left shoulder line.
Yeah.
Can you see that? Okay.
Yep.
So I want hands, you're going to go hands behind first. You want that counterbalance. If somebody just comes down through impact and they do this, where's the ball going to go? Can you see how I am on my right side? So what that move would be, I'm going to create a side bend and my lower body's not going anywhere. So if my upper body, my rib cage is going to go to the right, my lower body's going to go to the left. Those are equal and opposite directions. Can you see that? Okay. So from there, so you're going to do that, hands behind, because I want to be able to see your side bend. Now, if I'm looking up right now at the computer screen and I'm using that as a mirror, let me put my arms up, it's hard to see. I can see that side bend really clear as my hip moves out. And I want to be able to see that right there.
Okay.
And the reason I point out side bend is because that's the origin of that move happening. There's only one way to keep the head behind the ball at impact, and that's to flex the spine. Does that make sense? And let me show it to you with the skeleton, because I know when people take a lot of golf lessons for years, everything's so discombobulated. So as long as here's the shoulder sockets, and then here's the hip. So that's pretty squared off, right? Minus the head. All right. I broke its cervical spine. So here it is. So it has to flex to get, do you see that? Because it can't just, I mean, how are you gonna get the lower body to go first, right? If there's no spinal flexion. So it doesn't matter if I'm moving upper, if I'm moving lower, if I'm going to separate these so they're not stacked, that one's moving out and the other's going the opposite direction, that's spinal flexion that allows it to happen. So that's my point. So because that is the origin of the movement, that's where you put your mind, because that's the reality. That's truth. So instead of saying, feel like you're doing this when in reality you're doing that, or bowling a teaching aid or something, you're going to feed your nervous system 100% accurate information. Now, I don't know if you saw the TG Downswing Move, but people got that so confused. I don't know if you saw that online. But what I was saying is that's the side bend. If I just took my hand and I applied pressure that way, and people mistook it as I was saying, you had people on Instagram teaching the move your rib cage, no, I don't want to move my rib cage to the left. The reality is the hand is under that rib cage and I apply force towards the target. The rib cage moves to the right. It does not move out towards the target. So okay. I don't know how much of the YouTube videos you watch, but even a couple years ago, I was just cringing and like, that is not what I meant at all. So that's why the importance, and again, you being a chiropractor, knowing all about bones, is we can try to govern your swing and create changes by having you focus on correlations and reactions, or we can just take your mind and put it right on the actual reality, truth cause of the movement you want to make.
Yeah, I love it.
So that's what we're going to do. All right, so you're going to stand over the ball, do the exact same thing that I did. You can get a sense of feel for that side bend. And when you do it, you're still noting your visual. And you're going to note that this time around, when you do it, because you're allowing that left hip to go out, so all your body weight basically just sinks and rests in that entire left butt cheek, that you can actually get your head much further behind the ball than you originally did at the beginning. And that's because of the counterbalance. Just give me a side, no rotation, just a side bend. Good, now stay there. Now take your left butt cheek and push it back. Push it back towards, as if, there you go, right there, there you go. Now, create a little more side bend to the right. And just keep moving your hip left and back. Left, but there you go, and just stay there. Nice. Can you see how you're resting all your body weight right now into what? Yeah, your left butt cheek. Yep. Yeah, now I want you to take your butt. Don't try to sink heavy in your heels. This is the heel feeling is a reaction. I want you to imagine you're doing a one leg squat on that left leg and just lower your butt back towards the guy behind you. There you go. Nice. Right there. Good. And is your head still behind the ball?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any weight on the right foot? Just stay with me. Yes. So I'm going to have you, okay, yeah. I'm going to have you laterally move literally think your left hip socket where that femur bone sits up there. I want you to move that towards your target. That's a horizontal move, to be clear. There you go, right there. Nice, right there. And just hold. I just need you to hang out there for a second because we want to see if there's any pain. And notice how you kind of got to be in a relaxed position. There's no tension there. As you create that side bend, move your hip toward the target, sitting everything back. There you go. Nice, right there. Excellent. And just hang out there. So that should not be hard on the spine. The spine is designed for lateral flexion. It has to be. We all create some degree of lateral flexion in our daily life. But if you didn't counterbalance the body weight of your upper body with the lower body going the opposite direction, that could be really hard on the spine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that counterbalance
it wasn't hard, it's just tiring.
Yes. So to be in that position, there's a couple things. So that tells me, do you have the flexibility to get there? Well, yes, you do, because when we lack the flexibility, your body won't go there.
Okay.
You may lack the strength to hold it now that your body is only in that position for literally a hair of a second in the golf swing. However, it's not bad for you to add, and we'll talk about that. You're at CrossFit, how to start adding some torso rotational and weight shift exercises that mimic those counterbalance moves as part of your workout. You might as well throw it in there. You're in the gym anyway, right? Okay, good. So now let's do it with a club in your hand. And you're still going from setup to side bend and pushing that hip back. And your awareness is my lower body, my pelvis is moving towards the target.
Okay.
And my rib cage is moving the opposite direction. That's the key takeaway here. They do not go in one piece. They don't go together. They go opposite directions. And we're talking horizontally. Very good. Right there and just hang out. Nice. Nice left knee is straight and come back up to address. Push your butt back. Again, so we're feeling what? Oh, there's that heavy tailbone. And now I'm going heavy tailbone. Yeah, you can see your tendency. You want to hip extend. You want to bring your butt forward. So get solid in your setup so you really feel that. Tuck the tailbone down. Heavy tailbone in both butt cheeks. Add the side bend, heavy tailbone, or heavy left butt cheek, not the right. Sit, push it, push. There we go. Push it back. Nice. Now you got it. Stay right there for me. That's what I was looking for. Can you feel that?
Yep.
Good. And come back and repeat that several times. That's the direction. So again, based on physics, we're going to start talking direction of movement, and we're going to feed your brain and your nervous system accurate information.
Okay.
All right. So can you see me? So I'm glad you could feel that. It is something that's very easy to do. It's complicated to understand it. And in Bloom's taxonomy, understanding is like number one, but you have to understand the right knowledge. They have the right knowledge that's true to understand it. So now I'm going to give you another image. All right. I'm going to take this club and I'm going to put it behind the left heel and on the toe of the right foot. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That is a 45-degree angle, right?
Yep.
And here is horizontal. So when I say working your hip line right to left, that's what? That's a horizontal movement of the lower body. And now I'm going to move my upper body the opposite direction. So those are both horizontal movements. We have that happening in the swing, but we also have rotation happening in the swing, right? All right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to feel your left butt cheek move the direction of the handle of the club. And as you make the side bend, don't get hyper focused on the shoulder, and I'll explain why in a minute. So when I make that side bend, my butt is going that direction. And as a result of the side bend, my shoulder is here. That's a 45. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
But that's I could literally hang out here all day. I have zero tension at all. I don't even need a lot of oblique or core contraction because I'm so counterbalanced here. But that's the direction of movement. So as you add the side bend, because we have a turn here, if I do the side bend, when you're hanging out there in this, introducing this idea to your nervous system, that's the direction of the movement. So now my shoulder's going this way, and my lower butt, left butt cheek is going that way. Does that make intellectual sense? If it doesn't, let me know, because
it does.
One of the things golfers will do, they'll go, yeah, that makes sense. And it really doesn't make any sense. And that is not what you're paying me for.
That makes sense.
So we can just hang out there as long as we need to until your brain's like, oh, I get it. It'll make more sense once you do it for yourself. But it's a feeling. It is a direction of movement. It's a force of movement, but it's a feeling. You will literally feel, oh yeah, that is exactly the direction all my body weight is leaning into the hip. Yeah, that's exactly the direction my upper body is leaning. All right, so I lost camera view. I'm looking at the grass. Nice grass.
Oh, sorry.
We've had so much rain in Missouri. We've got nice, pretty green grass all year, didn't we?
Yeah, sorry. I had it flipped around the other way. I was watching it, trying to make sure. Okay, so you want me to practice that right there?
You're going to go back to setup, but you're going to lay that club down because you're looking at direction of force, direction of movement, which is force, because when it's coming from a downswing move, it's fast. So that shoulder and side bend go one way, lower body goes the other.
Where you step?
There you go. Now that's giving you a physics-based direction. So set up. And all I want you to do as fast as you can, create the side bend and push your left butt cheek on the direction of that club head. There, and stay right there. Beautiful. You see that? Very nice. See how comfortable that is. Do it again. Side bend, not shoulder. Good. The side bend is what? The action. The shoulder is a reaction. The reason I can't use shoulder is because it is not measurable. And it's going to happen too fast for you in the golf swing, and it can lead to, if people think right shoulder, they start coming over the top. It's not a good point of reference for an amateur for the downswing. There you go. And how does that feel?
Feels fine.
Yeah. Is it pretty comfortable?
Yeah.
Good. Now I'm going to have you go back and create that move one more time, and I'm going to ask you a question about your right foot. There you go. Do you have any weight right now on the outside of the right foot?
No, inside maybe.
Inside. Okay, good. All right. So as long as I didn't, because sometimes a golfer, they will brace with the right side, which is what baseball players do. The squish the bug, they drive the ball with their foot down. That is a no. I recently taught that to a bunch of physical therapists.
Okay, what's a no again?
That pushing the toe down and squishing the bug. So I recently taught that, and then Chuck pops up a video and he's telling everybody to squish the bug. It's like, yeah, no. The point of that is do not squish the bug. It was explaining how sports instruction can get so discombobulated because they teach what they think they see.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm putting your mind on causality versus correlation. I could pick out 1,000 different correlations in the golf swing, but that really is not, even if the information is true, Nathan, it's not necessarily helpful for teaching and learning.
Yeah, because your body's reacting to something very specific.
Yes. So now you have direction of movement. You've got a visual direction of movement that is actually accurate. It's true. It's not feel like you're doing this when you're doing this. It's true. It's accurate. That would be the force. The lower body's going one way, the upper's going the other. So now you're going to go ahead and put the club in your hand, and you're not going to be in the backswing yet. Just set it up and hover the club head right over the ball and create those movement, that same movement. So you just got to, I guess, grip down on the club. Some people call it grip up because I'm about body movement. If your hands are moving down towards the ground, you're gripping down. The hands are moving down.
Say what on that?
Oh, just because I want that club head hovering over the ball, you're going to move your hands down on the club.
Okay.
Yeah. Golf instruction language is always the polar opposite of body movement. Somebody would say that's gripping up. It's like, yeah, okay. Your hands are moving down. So we're always talking about body movement. Good. And just hover right there in your setup. And now I want you to make that side bend. Do it fast. Boom. Imagine that. There we go, right there. Good. And do it again. A little stronger. Go for it. There you go. It shouldn't be jerky. A side bend is fluid. Just relax your body and let that create the side bend. There you go. Good. And do that again. Now I'm going to have you take both hands, and I want you to apply a little pressure vertically on the handle of the club to lock out your elbows and stiffen your elbows up. Did you hear that?
Yeah, kind of. Show me what you mean though.
Okay. So think vertical. Hold on. Okay. So let me give you from a front view. Vertical for me from this position, from my hand. Here's my hand. That's vertical. So if I was going to apply pressure, I'm going to apply pressure on that line. Boom. That's vertical. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Now you're holding your lats on, so the shoulders aren't going to drop down. You're not going to end up punching the back. But from this position, you can see how my elbows are a little relaxed. And if I take both hands and I move them straight down, that's vertical. Now both elbows are locked.
Okay.
All right. And again, we're going for a very specific force and a very specific direction of force. That is vertical from where your hands are on the club. So your arms are a little loosey-goosey, and you're going to add that to your setup. And we're going to do it now because there you go. Lock them out. Now make a really strong side bend. And I mean, push that butt back. Lean into it. Go. There you go. Excellent. Now, do you see how that did that right elbow bend? Go ahead and let it stay straight. Lock it out. There you go. Nice. How's that club shaft position looking to you?
Good. How's
the hand position looking to you?
Good.
Okay, so that's a coveted position. Now, that is not any position through impact for arms, hands, club shaft, club head is never created by your arms and hands. And to think about those positions, to put your attention on those positions, takes your attention. It's putting your attention on correlations. It's putting your attention on true observations about good impact position, or maybe where the quote tour pros are. But again, the question is, knowledge, even if it's true, is it helpful? And the answer is no, because if your nervous system is smart enough, if you start putting your mind and your attention on your arms, your hands, position of the shaft, your nervous system is going to try to manipulate the arms, the hands, and the shaft. The entire reason you will ever be in that position is because of the move you just made.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because you thought about where you wanted your arms and hands, because the arms and hands are not responsible for even being in that position. They are merely along for the ride.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So let's do it again. And I want you to watch. So it was really interesting as your body moved into that impact position with the side bend, that right elbow caved, right up, boom. You release that pressure, that vertical force on that handle. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to say, no, straighten your right elbow. And when you did, your hands were in a much better position, club shaft and all of it.
So I'm like pulling up on it.
Yeah, both out for you. And most golfers, my goodness, I'm going to say 80-9, they're both elbows are bent through impact. And I have theories as to why that is, and which is worth absolutely nothing. Somebody's theory and opinion. I'm not even going to tell you what I think it is. But part of that is because they are obsessing about swing plane and position. So when you start thinking about where your arms and hands are in relation to impact, what line are we talking? We're talking the horizontal line. You're talking what's going on right here in this little box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you're thinking about all that, and that's kind of what you're obsessed on, you're going to try to get your arms and hands to make that movement. Therefore, the direction you start moving your arms and hands is here. Right? And if I do that, see, if I apply force with my left arm, the right elbow breaks. If I pour here, 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 here. So the direction is horizontal. Your arms need to work vertical. And there is nothing more polar opposite to the laws of physics than horizontal movement versus vertical movement. So when you start learning, and we're going to use that pressure, we're just introducing the concept to your nervous system, but it is as fundamental as your hand behind the ball, that the arms and hands coming down, what direction is that elbow moving?
Down.
It's good. Yeah, that's a hammer. That's vertical motion. That's a hinge motion from the elbow. Assuming the left arm is straight, it's not doing anything, so I'm doing this, right? And that's vertical. The problem is golfers are busy doing this because they're trying to get their hands in a position, and it's just messy. So, I mean, it doesn't work. I've never met a golfer yet it works for. If it did work talking about all that shenanigans, I'd say, man, go for it. It just doesn't work. You're doing perfect today. You know I'm recording this, Nathan. Did you remember that?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's perfect.
Yeah, you're actually a perfect model today. And how totally different from your lessons that you sent me.
Yeah.
You're in complete different positions, and yet there's nothing you've done with your arms, hands, or anything that got you there.
I know, it's crazy.
It was a side bend with a counterbalance move, which is just actually quite natural for the body. Push down. That's right and left hand. I mean, push on the handle. There we go. Excellent. And I need that club head to hover over the ball, because that move, it would have been out in front of the ball by now. Good. Give me more side bend. Your head's on top of the ball. Side bend. There. Now, if you're going to side bend, boy, your spine says push the butt back. Give me some counterbalance to support your spine. Sit into it. Good. And what happened to that right elbow? There. Awesome. So all that is, to do it slow, is to give your eye, the eye is the strongest part of the nervous system. And anytime we can use a visual to see if the nervous system's innate intelligence will capture that for a swing, we're going to try it. And if it doesn't, then we have to become like a musician, and we have to incrementally break the moves down, each one, and spoon feed it to the nervous system so it can learn in a very strategic order. So, but by you doing that, I mean, do you have clubs at your clinic?
No.
You keep, I put one there. So whenever you have a break, you're in your office or whatever, pick that club up, put a ball, like the ball I put down, I have like a sticky thing underneath it, and just repeat that move as much as you can. You want to give your eye that visual, and then you focus on the feeling. You want that visual.
Okay.
And what's the visual for that move? What are we thinking about? What's your visual for the side bend and butt back? What did I give you as an accurate visual?
To the butt
That's,
back. I don't know if I remember. Butt back 45.
yep, it's that club laying on the ground at 45.
Yeah.
So your brain, it can remember that, it can memorize that, it can visualize that, even if you don't have a club to put down. But so now you're doing it with the club in your hand.
And I got to keep the club hovered over the ball as I do it.
Yeah. And you're just training your eye and your body to sense and feel that. So now let's go ahead and go to the top of the backswing. Again, keep the club hovering over the ball.
Okay.
And let's see from the top of the backswing, it's going to throw your nervous system. It's going to go, but my waist is facing the guy behind me. You see that guy behind me in the green shirt?
Yeah.
He's messing with his club. That's exactly where your waist is going to point to. So that's going to throw you a little bit. But I'm going to say is to trust it, create the same movement, even though the right side of your body is facing the guy back behind you. Yeah. You got to trust it and put that image of those 45-degree angles and just get there. Okay. And you get there from your what? Side bend. You just put your mind right on your waist. So you go to the top and hold it for a few seconds, gather your thoughts before you go. Nope, go to the top of your backswing. Oh, come back again, start all over again. That's all right. Go to the top of your backswing and just hold it. Stay there. Good, right, not very nice, awesome. Now at the top of your backswing real quick while you're there, I need you to take both hands and push on that handle. There we go. Oh, wait till you see where your club is. Funny how that works. Good. Now keep pushing on that left hand. Apply that. And you can go ahead and bend that right elbow a little more. All it's going to do is lift your hands up. Beautiful. Wait till you see where your club head is. So now we don't have to obsess about club head, hands, arms, elbow, fold the elbow, arms up, blah, 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 blah. All you have to do is teach your brain how to maintain, because the vertical pressure there is now horizontal. Now it's at an angle, right? You see what I'm saying? At address, the pressure on the handle is vertical. When you maintain the triangle, now it's horizontal. And then when you get up over your head, it's at an angle. Okay. Wait till you see this video. You're going to flip when you see what happened to your club. But we've given you, again, I'm not saying feel like you're doing this. I'm giving you something specific that's actually true. If you push on the handle with both hands and you go to the top of your backswing and you do not release that, I bet your club's going to be in a perfect position. Nice. Hold right there. Now just stay. I got to deviate. I need you to take your right butt cheek and just move it 1 inch to the right. There you go, right there. Can you see now that you're on your right side?
Yeah.
You actually weren't there. Now take your butt cheek and move it to the left, 1 inch. Well, that was a little more than that. I was trying to move you back where you were. We want to provide contrast so the nervous system understands loading the right glute versus loading the pause right there. The difference between you loading that right pocket at the top versus you loading the front thigh and ball of the left foot. Nice. All right, now on the count of 3, you count to 3 yourself. You all right?
Yep. It's tiring.
It is. If you had your Fitbit on, your heart rate would be up too. So I always say, oh my gosh, I was going to say my lessons are both golf fitness, core training, posture training, butt and hip strength, plus swing mechanics all at the same time. It doesn't get any better than this, Nathan. We're killing a lot of birds with one stone here.
It is crazy. Okay. Now tell me what to do again. So you said do what now? Get to the top of my backswing, count to 3.
You're gonna apply, put that exact image in your mind. You're gonna apply that side bend.
Okay.
and push the left hip. And the way to make that happen, you've got all that tension at the top of the backswing, just completely relax. Okay. Relax to make that movement.
Okay.
Hold and go. Side bend like a rag doll. Just go fast. Go, go, go. There you go. And hold. Straighten right elbow. Up, but don't. Yep. If you would have straightened the right and stay on that left side. Very good. Is your head on top of the ball or behind it?
No, it's in front of it.
Okay, exactly. Okay, so we're going to go again. Now, however, now if you create, freeze, that was such a good moment. If you just created the side bend like you just did, it shifted weight back to the right foot. That's why you can't just create the side bend unless it's powerful enough that it's going to be pushing the hip back. So if you're going to increase side bend, you got to increase left butt cheek and hip lean. You can't do one without the other. Good.
Okay.
So go again. Go. Nice. Now, if you would have let that, if you wouldn't have stopped that club head, it would have been actually out in front of the ball. Nice. Now, right there, I need you to push down on that handle. Explain to your nervous system, no, I don't want my arms working down the target line. I need arms as far as the bones. I need them going down. I want them straightening through impact powerfully. There you go. So head's behind the ball, so you got to push that left butt cheek. Push it at a not 45-degree angle, because right now your butt's off that 45-degree angle line. It's inside. It's inside the line. Move it horizontally left. Your butt. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we were talking. You feel the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And I'm sorry, that's something you just have to work with your teacher that has obviously me, that has an eye to pick that stuff up. I don't know that I can teach you how to pick that up, but as I correct you over and over, you start self-correcting on your own.
Okay.
Now, you are welcome to try to hit a ball with that transition move, but
no,
I have to warn you, it might be a little bit ugly.
No, I'm not going to worry about hitting a ball.
All right. So, and then I'm going to leave you with this.
Okay.
All right. Club. All right, so I'm going to get the top. Here I am at the top, and when I make that move, do you see how it's like I mean ragdoll. Don't make it tense. So this is tension. Coil. The whole word coiling in the backswing implies tension. It's wringing out a rag. It's I'm twisting, and then you get to the top, tension, tension, and I mean literally take all that tension in your muscles and let it go. So if I'm even standing here and I'm going to tense up, tense, tense, let it go. And I'm just taking that hip, sticking it out, and I'm letting my side bend. That's what you want to feel like. You know how tour pros always say, well, just let it fall. Well, that's actually exactly what it's going to feel like. So you're just getting here to the top and then boom. That's just me creating a side bend, and I just don't have any tension, release. That's it. Make sense?
Okay. Yep.
So that move should be a relaxation move. It's releasing, and you just let your body, let everything just relax.
Okay.
Easier said than done, right?
Yes.
No, you did so good today. I think you can do it. And the wonderful thing is, as a chiropractor, I can talk bones to you.
Yeah.
Because obviously, no matter what movement we're creating, skip the muscles. That's easy. It's which bone is moving, what direction do I want it to move, and when do I want to apply force in that direction. Now we're lining up the bones with the physics, and then it's really easy. Just Google, which muscle moves this bone this direction. So it's more about the bone than it actually is the muscle. That's what I'm trying to get you to pinpoint.
Okay.
All right. Any questions?
Nope.
Okay. Very good. I'll send you this video. and I don't edit
perfect.
videos, so
That's
doing
okay.
that, it's going to be a long one. All right.
That's okay.
Thanks so much, Nathan.
Thank you.
Okay, any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.
All right, I will. And then maybe we can set up a thing for maybe in 2 weeks. I'll text you a couple of times that I have in maybe 2 weeks. Next week's going to be tough for me, but the week after will be good.
Sounds great.
Perfect. Thank you.
We'll do it. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.